IEP went well. I guess next meeting is the official IEP because IEP means individual education plan. This was a meeting to determine if Sebastian has a disability.
See you later.
Good morning. It is really dark outside still. It's just a really cloudy day and we could get rain off and on all day. I'm wearing one of my new sweaters. I decided I wanted to wear this one. I really love the color. My arms are a little cold. Oh, it is really dark. This is me directly in front of the window. So dark. It's about 7:17. Sebastian just headed off to school. The morning was really weird because he wanted to buy lunch and I got so used to packing his lunch bag up there that I'm like, am I forgetting something? Are we late for the bus? Why do I have all this time? But yeah, I don't know why, but he just suddenly wanted to buy. I think because his friend sometimes does. We thought he was going to buy lunch just about every day because he was all about the school lunch during the pandemic when they were handing it out at the buses. So he was really excited to have that again, but he ended up just buying breakfast and wanting to bring his own lunch. But I didn't have to give him any stickers, so he gets a break from the sticker drama because the kids are always fighting over them, but he won't let me knock at them. No, you've been out so many times. And our kitchen is a wreck. We have so much stuff. I can't touch like the piles of papers. So that's hard. We have a long weekend and hopefully I can get a lot of cleaning done. Anyway, I'm waiting for Jax to come down so I can do his breakfast and lunch. And I have an IEP meeting at 8:45. If I drive him at 8:30 and then it's pointless to come home. But if he walks, then I'll have a little time. I washed my hair, so I'm still waiting for it to dry. So I do need to go up before I leave the house and make it presentable. There's too many old braids in it to leave it completely down. It just looks too ratty. I've got to at least pull the top up. I started these braids in, I think, early December, so it's time for me to redo them, even though I never made it to a section right here. I'll have to do that section first, and then my normal start from the bottom. Do you need water? Your brother didn't drink all the water I gave him. Anyway, he should be down in a minute. And then we'll start our day. Hello everyone. I talked to you this morning, I think, a little bit, but yeah, they started normal, but then breakfast. I was trying to eat breakfast with Jax because I wasn't sure if I was driving to school and gonna have to go straight to my meeting. So I was trying to eat a yogurt bowl, and Jax drops the bomb that he has math test and he doesn't feel like he knows any of it, which is a surprise to me because I always look at his formative scores, which is all the little quizzes and pre-tests and stuff that don't get counted towards his grade, and he was getting like A+. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I stop eating and I bring up the study guide and I'm trying to figure this out. We have like 10 minutes because suddenly his friend appears, even though it was drizzly. They ended up walking to school, but I'm like, oh my gosh, he left and we had only figured out one of the things. It's like cross multiplying proportional ratios and calculating tips and stuff. I mean, I know how to calculate a tip, but I do it like mental math style, not in this fancy show your work way. So I was trying to figure out where all these numbers are supposed to be going to help him understand, and I totally could have if I knew it in advance, but so all I could do is email his teacher once he left and give her a heads up that he's suddenly feeling super unconfident about this, which was a total surprise to me, and I wasn't sure if he gets a chance to review. Basically, I'm like, this is our year where I'm trying to transition. I'm trying to guide him a little bit. I don't necessarily want to do everything for him, but it is a learning process for him to figure out time management and studying and stuff. So she wrote back and said that he did look confident in the review. She's not graded them yet, and that I should let her know if he says anything when he goes home, and she really appreciates the open communications. So there's that. So I was a little stressed, didn't get to eat all of the food. At that point I just went up and I brushed my hair and I put it up a little bit. I'm really happy with this sweater. Let me see if I can show it to you better. Here it is. It does have weird sleeves that are short, and my arms were very cold. I ended up wearing my blanket coat in, so I like walk into the meeting room with this big pile of blanket. Normally I leave it in the car because I'm volunteering and I have nowhere to put it, but also it's obnoxiously large and maybe not so fancy. But they're like, oh my gosh, that looks so cozy. They kept commenting it again and again. So it was totally fine that I brought my giant wearable blanket. But yeah, IEP went well. I guess next meeting is the official IEP, because IEP means individual education plan. This was a meeting to determine if Sebastian has a disability, which would make him eligible, according to the Virginia Department of Education, to have special therapies, whatever he needs, special education plan. And it was determined that he does have a speech and language impediment, is what the official name is, SLI, which actually were my initials before I was married. So I kept seeing SLI on tabs of paper and I'm like, me? What? But yeah, so basically the speech pathologist determined he has a lateral lisp and substitutions of sounds. She had a better name for that. He does have a slight lip tie, tongue tie situation, but she doesn't think it affects the speech because the la 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 sound is the one it would affect, and he can do that sound. But there was a couple of the sounds they test for that he could imitate, which is basically the two different th sounds, voiceless and something else. I'm learning the terms, but not very well yet. Like there's the one that's at the beginning, like 3, and then there's the one at the end, Heath. Somehow there's a difference. I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know. And he was able to copy those, so they call those, oh my goodness, what is the word? I've got, oh, Peggy, you're so cute. I've got music going on my computer because I was working. Let's see. I've got all my paperwork. Got some reading, English language arts scores. It looks like he improved. So that's great. Where is, and I want to show you these papers. Lots of personal info, articulation, lateral lisp and sound substitutions. What was that word? No, it's in the one that they gave me. I'm making a humongous mess with these papers. Is it like shapeable? Stimulable. So they're able to stimulate him to make the sounds on his own. So basically she's like, say the, and he can go the. That was the only one out of the whole list that he got right 60% of the time. I think over 50 or 30 years, what did it say? Over a certain amount, they consider it oh my goodness, I can't even read this, like my brain stutters. Stimulable. I don't know why I'm putting another T. If they get it right at least 30%, then it's stimulable. Stimulable. And he got the TH as stimulable. But everything else was 20 to 0%, mostly 0%. Could not imitate their sound, like the letter R and ch and stuff like that. So he definitely needs it. Everybody agreed that he definitely needs it. There was somebody there from the, I don't know, IEP eligibility committee, something like that. Very nice. Everybody was so nice. And yeah, everybody was in agreement. We have to go through an official checklist. Everybody has to agree and give their comments, and it's all very official, but not super formal. They were nice and friendly. So yeah, very painless. And as they mentioned, everything's on a timeline. So we now start another timeline, a shorter one. The speech pathologist has 30 days to come up with the IEP, the special plan for how we will tackle Sebastian's speech impediment. And yeah, they have up to 30 days. So sometime in February, I will have another meeting. Hopefully Danny can come to that one. They say it'll be less rigid, like more flexible in the scheduling. These ones, it has had to be when it is, especially this one with somebody coming in from outside to officiate it. So yeah, that was my update for that. I was hungry because I didn't eat enough, and it's stressful, and I just like the anxiety makes me hungry afterwards. So I stopped at the coffee shop, got decaf Americano, and I got a bagel with egg. They have the best sea salt rosemary bagels, so good. And I got some treats to bring home. Danny didn't want anything, but got Sebastian a red velvet muffin that he loves, and I got Jax a strawberry tart, and I got myself an apple tart, which I'm about to warm up and eat. So healthy for lunch, but it is what it is. Yeah, took those home. I offered to go to the grocery store if there's anything Danny wanted me to make for dinner. We're getting towards the end of the week where we've used all the usual suspects, but he said we can order tonight. I'm kind of craving french fries. And then came home and started drawing. I was actually drawing a little bit in the coffee shop, but it was making my food cold, and it was just cold in general there. So I headed home. I think I just finished the last drawing, but one of them, now that it's imported to my computer, I'm gonna move things around to have like Happy Valentine's Day or some sort of a text in it, and that's gonna be like a cover. I did one extra one. I did have 8 plus the cover. Now I have 9, so now I'm like, oh, I should make it 10. We'll see. Now I want to eat and start making thumbnails and stuff. I might make an extra sheet, which is like a color test sheet that I could have with every coloring sheet pack, like squares for you to test your markers. and it's just really, really, really dark. I wanted to set up like a flat lay with one of them partially colored, but it's just so rainy and gross and disgusting and dark, so I can't do that. So I'm gonna look at one of my stock art sites for some like top views of coffee cups and stuff like that, and maybe make a mock one with royalty-free images. I can take some pictures later of like markers set out nicely and add it all in. Just basically start getting thumbnails organized. Holy moly, I've talked to you for almost 11 minutes. Stephanie, do not talk this much tonight. Oh my goodness. We're caught up to now. I'm gonna go eat that apple tart, finish working, because I only have an hour and 20 minutes till I get Sebastian from the bus. Yeah, hope you're having a beautiful day. Hello everyone, it is bedtime. Past Stephanie told me, future Stephanie, I'm not allowed to talk for a million years because I already talked for 10 minutes, so I'm on a time crunch. It is 7:47. Sebastian's up here, but he has a lollipop, so I'm like, how are you ready for bed with a lollipop? We need to take medicine, we need to take vitamins and brush our teeth, but we'll get there. Anyway, still loving this sweater. I do wish arms warm, but I do like that you can see all my bracelets. And yeah, I talked to you before getting Sebastian. I think my eyes hurt because I was on my screens all day, but I tried taking a few pictures for thumbnails, like markers on a blank paper, but the lighting was just total crap. And so I ended up using royalty-free to make my first thumbnail. And I figured out how to link my iPad to my computer so that it mirrors the screen, and I could use the Apple Pencil to color in part of one of the coloring sheets to look like colored pencils. So I was doing that to make a thumbnail, but then I had to go get Sebastian. And I went back to that for a while. Jax got home and I went up to get his update. He said that he felt fine with the tests, that things came back to him when they reviewed, and there was only 1 or 2 problems that he might have gotten wrong. So that's good. I hope he's right. Because wow, he definitely has off days when he wakes up and he's just so grumpy and can't function, but I didn't think that was happening until he just started freaking out over that. So his math teacher was lovely. She wrote back midday after she'd seen him. She's like, he seemed comfortable with the material in the review, and just let me know if he brings up anything. Thank you for being so open. I love the communication. So yeah, I just sent her an email saying thank you. He said he felt good. So we'll see how that goes. She hasn't graded it yet. It's not one of the ones like science where the grade pops up right away and the teacher just has to confirm it. On his test that we studied for together, the DNA, he got 22.5 out of 23. Apparently the teacher said somebody in his honors class got 22.9 out of 23. Oh. Anyway, that's my update. The kids wanted to order from this Italian place, so we did that for dinner, even though I was craving french fries. And then it was too late to do anything, so I just ordered my next color of hair. I've got a lot of leftovers, but I'm just not feeling them. I think I want to stay pastel for now. So it's gonna have this pink at the top, and then blue, I think aqua cyan, and then minty green at the bottom, I think. So I could still do pink bangs, or I could do a light blue. I don't know if I'd do a light green, because sometimes really pale green in my bangs just looks like it's fading out. Something was fading out, but we'll see. I'll decide. So yeah, that's my update for you. I'm going to get everything ready because it's time for him to be done his lollipop now. Take off this cozy sweater. I'm so in love with the color and I wish you could see it better. But it just doesn't show up maybe if I was outside. Yeah, tomorrow I go to his school for his end of the quarter party. I'm one of the volunteers. They needed more volunteers than last time. They've got room parents that are the main ones that go. And I hadn't signed up for that because I signed up for the other sheets. Back to school night, the one where it's like come in once a week and do file papers, and she's never used me. I'm like, oh. So I'm volunteering every other way I can. But yeah, they wanted volunteer room moms this time around, so I get to go. So I'm gonna get some sleep because that will be a little bit after I get Jax to school. He might walk. I have to be there at 8:50. Today was 8:45. Oh, and today was the first day that the security guard didn't even need my last name. So I just walk up, he sees me on the camera, he's like, come on in. And I was standing there and realized I hadn't told him my last name yet. And he's like, no, I got it. So they must be sick of me. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget, wash your hands.